Good afternoon, Internet. It's Sunday the 27th of December in the year of COVID-19, 2020. So I just want to do a little review of the feedback on Trustpilot for a company called Fuel Exhausts. They're providers, manufacturers in fact, of motorcycle exhaust pipes, silencers in the UK, and you may be wanting to find out a little more information about them. If you're anything like me, I'm a terrible researcher and I always do a lot of checking out before I buy anything, and so I've done a fair bit of checking out for the particular item that I wanted to buy from Fuel Exhausts, which was a silencer for my Honda Bros NT650 in order to get through the MOT. The bike had been sitting in garages for many years, to be honest. There's a particular reason why I keep this bike, but I won't go into that in this video. Suffice it to say that the Honda silencer was beginning to rust away, so MOT failure. So I needed to get a type approved silencer to get me through the MOT, and I wanted a stubby to be in keeping with what was on the bike originally. Now obviously to get a Honda replacement would be a ludicrous amount of money, and you're just not going to spend that realistically on a 1989 grey import Honda Bros NT650. It's probably more than the bike is worth, potentially. So I needed to get something that would get me through the MOT that would still be in keeping with the nature of the bike and would not cost me an arm and a leg. So my research eventually brought me to Fuel Exhausts, who provided precisely the item that I needed, and so I bought it, I fitted it, I got it through the MOT. It sounds great. I've had comments from a number of other bikers to say how good the silencer sounds on the bike. I did have to get it serviced afterwards and adjusted, carburetor adjusted, to cope with the different nature of the exhaust, but that's all done, and it really runs probably better than expected. So the situation that I had with getting this silencer is that I was on a deadline for the retest, so I really wanted to get it all done without having to start the new MOT all over again. So I ordered the piece from Fuel Exhausts, and the unfortunate situation was that whilst their silencer parts are pretty much generic, they had to manufacture the connecting pipe, which obviously they do from a standard template that they hold, but realistically nobody is going to hold a special item in stock for such an unusual bike, so they had to make it. And the problem that we had was that they were waiting for a part for their welding machine to be able to actually make that part, and so we obviously were working then to a very tight deadline. Now the upshot is that their customer service was absolutely astounding. So they calculated their timing, when they would have the part in, when they would repair their welding machine, when they would get through their range of orders, and whether there was a possibility of getting the order fulfilled in time for the retest. So they thought they could just about do it, but the exceptional part on top of everything else was that they chose not to use their standard delivery, but to pay themselves for an express next day delivery in order to accommodate my needs, which I thought was pretty fantastic. Their communication was excellent, pleasant, quick. You really couldn't ask for much more. So Fuel Exhausts are based in the UK. They supply to Europe, as I understand, to USA, and presumably to anywhere in the world who wants a particular nice exhaust to cheer up their, whether it's a new or old bike. In my case it's an old bike. So it certainly did cheer it up, get it through the MOT, suited all my needs, absolutely brilliant. So I haven't been asked to do a review. They asked to do a review on Trustpilot, so I did my review on Trustpilot. And I was thinking that really I should get some of these bike vloggers to do a review of Fuel Exhausts products. And then I thought, well, what the hell, I can do it myself. So we've already established that it's a nice item, excellent price. It's direct from the manufacturer. They sell direct to the public, so you don't have markups for wholesalers and end suppliers. So you get a real bargain, excellent price, great quality, all very nice. So what intrigued me a little bit, having had a look at their Trustpilot reviews, was I wonder how they compared against other UK manufacturers of bike exhaust systems. So I collected a bit of information from Trustpilot and I put it together in a couple of little slides, and so what I'll do next is I'll show the little video I did of the silencer in operation. I'll present a couple of little slides so that you can see the context of the business amongst their competitors, and hopefully that'll give you an extra little bit of information for anybody who wants to check out Fuel Exhausts and see whether they are confident that they will provide the right product at the right service. So I hope you'll find that little bit of information useful, and when I've done that I'll just do a little final review, and anybody who has any comments, any questions, obviously they can pop them into the comments box down below, and I'll try to respond to anything that anybody chooses to ask me. So here's a little bit of the bike, a couple of slides just to give you some extra information. I collected some data from Trustpilot in autumn 2020, identifying as many UK bike exhaust manufacturers as I could and getting their relative scores out of Trustpilot. And slide 1 here shows, sorted by the percentage rating and then by the star rating and then by the number of reviews, to give a comparison of the different providers that I could identify. So you'll see that of the companies who have a significant number of reviews, Fuel Exhaust is the only one that gets 100% rating, and it also has the highest star rating. So the star rating is calculated by Trustpilot on a number of different factors, and not just the customer responses that have been received. So 3 other companies have 100% rating also, but
they have very few reviews. So the other two companies that have a significant number of reviews are on 98% and 96% respectively, and with star ratings of 4.8, 4.6, slightly below what's given for fuel exhausts. Now, it's difficult to know why fuel exhausts get so many more reviews than anybody else, whether it's because they sell more products, whether it's because they've been selling products for longer, or whether it's that customers are so enamored with their customer service and their product that they feel impelled to give a positive review. Difficult to tell what people's motivations are. I can only go by my motivation, which I've explained earlier, was my response to fantastic customer service under difficult circumstances, which managed to get me through the MOT. So that's one way of looking at the Trustpilot ratings. The second slide also gives a second way of looking at those ratings, and these are sorted by the number of reviews, the star rating, and the percentage rating. So that picks up the businesses with the greatest number of reviews. And still Fuel Exhaust is out there on top with slightly better ratings than both Lextech and Maxter. So whichever way you look at it, Fuel Exhaust are coming out on top with a great number more reviews than any of the other businesses have achieved. So you'll have to make up your own minds as to why that is and be guided by other people's opinions. So you can go on to Trustpilot, you can look at all of those businesses, you can see what people say about them and how they rate them, and that may help you to get a good comparison. Obviously you can find them on the internet and look up their products as well and see whether their product range is the same, better or worse than that of Fuel Exhausts. That's research that you'll have to do. It's beyond the scope of this particular exercise. But I hope that's useful.
So I hope you found that useful and interesting and maybe given you a bit of confidence. You can look up Fuel Exhaust. They're easy to find on the internet and easy to place an order with. So if you feel confident, give them a go. Leave me any comments, any questions, and I'll see what I can do to respond to them. Otherwise, have a nice day and good luck in your search. Thank you. Bye.